I'm one of those mothers that went through an ordeal. For me, it was 20 years ago, and I had been married for 17 years at that point. And when I found out my daughter was 14 and found out that my husband was sexually molesting his own biological daughter. So what was I going to do? You know, had to get a lawyer and all that. They were all sucking me dry, tried to steal my house, all of that good stuff. I had to go through it all. But one of the most devastating things is not being able to afford gas or know when your next meal was going to come, or whether or not you would have enough money for your mortgage. And a lot of this was on the table for me at that time. And I had to rely and believe that, Jesus was going to help me in those difficult times. And I'm going to tell you, not once did I go without, because of who he is, not because of who I am or because of anything that I've done. I needed gas money. I filled out a sweepstakes in the newspaper, and I won $250 during that time from the newspaper, when gas was at a premium, close to $4 a gallon back in the 2000s. Another time I needed food. I had like $40 left to my name. I went in to stretch the dollar at a grocery store that was an outlet, and they suggested that I rip off the bottom of my receipt with my phone number and that they would put me in a drawing. Well, you think, okay, whatever. Yeah, sure. So I did. And within a week, they called me up. And you know what? I won that $500 gift card to help supply my family, my daughter and I, with food money for quite a substantial time for being two people. This is another time I thought, well, okay, I've got to do something for extra money, during the courts, facing attorneys, police, district attorneys, you name it, okay? When you are defending somebody, you need to be available and being stretched out, and that means, you've got a lot of people in your pockets taking you and draining you for every single dime that you're receiving. Such in my case. So I thought, well, okay, I'm going to sell candles for a little while, just to get a little bit of money to see how that goes. Well, the first time I decided to have a show and invite some people that I knew at my home to sell candles, the woman that was supposed to be training me tried to rip me off for any kind of little extra coinage I was going to win. And I thought, well, that's the end of this escapade. I will never do this again. And I had called up the candle company and informed them. Well, I didn't know it at the time, but within a couple of weeks later, my daughter had come home from college, and she was in desperate need for money to fix her laptop, which was an essential tool for her to continue with her college studies. And I was expressing to a person that was visiting that, I'd asked for money from a relative to help me get my daughter's laptop fixed, and they were unwilling. And I was pretty sad about it, because I expected that person to actually help me. And I told them within a week I would reimburse them. But no was the answer. And I was expressing to somebody, what had happened. And my daughter was sitting there on her other computer at the house, not her laptop, that, well, suddenly anyway, the doorbell rang. I answered the doorbell, and it was a courier, and he said to sign here. And I thought, oh, okay. I signed, and I opened up the envelope, and it was $500. So my daughter's laptop was going to be able to get fixed, and I was really overjoyed about that. It's just another thing that God supplied my need when I needed it. And he's always on time, never late. He will wait sometimes to the very last minute, but he is right there on time, where you know it's his hand moving in your life. So that's why I'm saying, keep praying, asking God to help you. And if it doesn't come through, there's a reason why it doesn't come through. So you just have to keep believing, Don't ever blame your creator for any kind of downfalls that you might have gotten yourself into. Just keep trusting that he's going to be there to help pick you up when it's time. And I needed a new roof, and that was supplied to me. And when I sold my house, and it just seemed like, this evil crap wanted to take me down all the time along the way, but God kept coming through for me. And I had a friend that helped me prepare the house when it came time, because I could no longer afford it, to sell it. And she was there, 10 hours a day, and for 10 weeks straight, helping me get that house into ship shape to sell it. And I'm just saying that, through it all, you're going to survive whatever comes about. Just have the faith in God that he is going to supply, like it says in Philippians 4:19, but my God shall supply all your need according to his riches and glory by Jesus Christ. And he will, and he always will. So there's that. God bless.